So I'm making a quick video talking about the demonic bonds and Panamoniac ray overlap. This is the strategy I'm presenting for what I think we should do on Monday. There are a couple big advantages here, but just to give a quick overview of what's happening is that we have a light party in the north, we have a light party in the south, we have the DPS always on the outer side, whether it's left or right, and as such the supports are always in the center. The healers in particularly are never moving from their spots. You can see in spread they're at what I marked for markers now, 2B and D4. You can see that the healers never move in any of the three permutations. The tanks only move if it's light party, otherwise they're in the same spot. So this is very easy for half the raid. It's not difficult for the melee or the range DPS because there's references for where they need to go if they need to flex. If they need to flex, and what I mean is, let's say we're evening out the fourfold locations. If it's melee flex, Serathia would take this spot, and this would take Serathia's spot. Serathia doesn't have too much of an issue in terms of getting a new reference of where he needs to go. If it's light parties, he knows that he can just go on the B, the marker here, where people will be. If it's spread, he's in the top corner. That's very easy to see. And if it's partners, to stack up with the other tank. Vist has markers as a reference to know where to go. 3 and C actually exists in what we normally do. They're normally the spread locations for the healers during silk split. And so if Vist needs to go in a spread, he just looks for a marker around this area and he spreads to it. And if he needs to stack, he looks at the other marker. For light parties, or he just goes with the other tank for partners. For ranged, very simple. Your spread spot always has a pole as a reference, and you're always with the healer, otherwise. And so in my opinion, the last thing that doesn't really show in a toolbox, but it's very important, is to know that the mechanic beforehand could be lethal if people aren't paying attention. So as we'll see here, this is the towers mechanic, where there's the in or out, and then the donut. And so there's been very often times that people are getting dupe sacks, or they're dying. We can see Pandemoniac Ray just starts right here. This detracts from healer attention because I won't be rezzing because I'll be Black Mage. And if they're focusing on getting rid of doom stacks, they're not focusing on getting in their position. If they're focused on rezzing, it could potentially even break the entire pool depending on where they're dead. So we just need to make sure that we come into the mechanic clean every time, and with a strategy that I think is pretty simple here, this should not be much of an issue anymore.